It's doing it again. I think it's toast.
It's what?
It's doing it over.
It's really just boot.
No, it already completed, said completed, and then it started over.
See what happens.
That's what we get.
Mark,
when
you
get
can
an
have your iPad back. I don't know what you did to it.
There you go.
No,
Take
I'm
this
just
one.
kidding.
Actually, I've got it being printed out, so.
Oh,
Yeah, it can be fine.
Well, next time instead of apples, we ought to buy worms. They eat the apple.
Yeah, there you go.
inside out.
You're ready, Joel. That was yours anyway, right?
Okay. Call this meeting to order. Let's say that. Have a pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let the roll call show all are present. We do have a quorum. Those of you that would like to, would you join me in an opening prayer? Oh Lord, please look down upon us and give us guidance this evening as we're faced with some of the issues that we're trying to make our Shoshoni a better place to live for all of our citizens. We appreciate all that you do for us. In your name, amen. Amen. Can have a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll approve the agenda.
Second.
Then moved by Councilman Harkey, second by Councilman, was it Nordine or Step? Or I mean, Whitener. And discussion, I think we have some amendments.
I guess we need to on unfinished business, put on the land sale that we did on that Idaho and Third.
Yeah, I received a contract. Well, I wasn't here, but it came in on email this afternoon. So I just printed off a couple of copies of it, came in for that.
I move we add the,
We already sold one.
right,
We have a offer to purchase.
We already sold it.
We had an offer to purchase. That says, this is
I don't know at all,
this is how we proceeded. Pretty much when we sold our last two properties, we have an offer to purchase. Standard contract to buy, sell real estate. This came from the buyer and realtor, Sun Realty.
But Sun Realty is not our realtor. We dismissed them a long time ago.
Yeah.
Sun Realty brought this sale to this. Without Sun Realty, this property.
I don't believe so. I talked to the purchaser of this. And
so we could maybe move to put the real estate on the agenda under
We'll
no
discuss it.
unfinished business, that we can hash this out when we get to that point in the agenda. That's my motion.
second,
Been moved to amend the agenda to add the contract to buy, sell real estate. Moved by Councilman Stettler, second by Councilman Whitener. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Oppose the same? Motion passed, all in the affirmative. Now, we have a motion to approve the amended agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll
Amended
second it.
agenda.
Been moved by Councilman Whitener, second by Councilman Hartke. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye.
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 Wasn't trying to advocate one way or the other, just trying to get the agenda and keep moving. It was having flashbacks of 2021.
Any communication from citizens? Anything online, Chris? None being. The consent agenda. Can I have approval of the minutes, June 24th, 2025?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Been moving and seconded in discussion. I think I have a couple changes I'd like to see made in the minutes. One of the changes, we had a fairly good discussion about the hero award that citizen Ken Cundall received. And that's not in the minutes. I believe that should be in our minutes.
Okay.
And and then I'd like to also note during the public hearing, when we were looking at auctioning off all the items we had, I bid on 3 items. And I'd like to note that I did not participate. I left the council chambers during the meetings, so that I had no influence on any of the bids.
Oh, under new business, you mean?
Yeah, when we
Did the
when we
bid.
back and when we did our voting,
Yeah, under 15B.
yeah. That,
Three of them,
yeah, and there was three of them. 2 of them I was awarded.
number 7, number 17, and number 19.
I think I'd like to note that the layman happened to wasn't here, didn't see that, I'd like to be clear, I had nothing to do with that.
Right. Should be there.
And that the mayor pro tem conducted opened the bids on those items.
I move that we approve the minutes as amended.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Stetler, second by Councilman Ordain, to approve the minutes as amended. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion passed, all in the affirmative. Approval of bills, June 25th, 2025. To July 8th, 2025. Have a motion to approve the bills.
I just got one question on. Okay. Not there yet.
Have a motion to approve the bills.
I'll make the motion.
Motion been approved by Councilman Hartke, second
I'll second.
by Councilman Modine. Any discussion? Discussion, anybody? Councilwoman Hartke, any discussion?
No, yours is down here.
Okay,
The one that. It says Poncho's Dinner Wham $1,244.50. I'm assuming there's more than that.
Okay.
Like the whole cow, well, half.
No, if you scroll down, the breakdown for all that comprises that one invoice. You can see that she included.
Was the.
Credit card bill?
Okay,
Yeah, that was on a credit card.
as always, and in the past, it's whatever, it kicks out whatever the last one was on it.
So if you scroll down to MasterCard, you can see on the chart, you can rise that.
kinda.
The ponchos was $18.74.
Are those included, Kim?
But and then you had 1, 2, 3 days.
You're
of
talking about-
Right here. It's this check right here. So all of these transactions here.
Oh, gotcha.
That's why I print those out for you.
I wasn't getting, so I was there, but I was trying to have a little trouble breaking that down.
Oh.
It makes a lot.
Yep.
Thank you for the clarification.
Right.
Appreciate that.
What I thought.
Well, I was certain it was more than a dinner. I just couldn't understand.
Yeah, it was, or actually about half. They had to-
I wasn't understanding the way it was presented. Unclear.
So Ponchos was actually $18.74.
Bunch of ICE agents were down there.
Yeah.
Any further discussion on the bills? Not being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, both the same, motion passed, all in the affirmative. C, travel voucher, Joel Heisman, 620. 62525, 62625.
I have a
Kind of a
question.
motion to approve.
Make the motion to approve.
Been approved by Councilman Harkey to approve. Can I have a second?
Second.
Been second by Councilman Whitener. Okay, I knew how to voice come there. I didn't know which one. Discussion.
I just have this on this Casper Economical Development. It's WCP Financial Realtor.
Pardon?
What's that?
Wyoming cardiopulmonary.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, Wyoming cardiopulmonary.
And the realtor part on there was for the realtor that you were trying to.
Yes.
get For the development on the west end.
Yes,
Why are we trying to get a realtor out of Casper?
because they're the best.
It's kind of a specialty, as I understand.
Yes.
For her as well. He's-
I was referred to her 2.5 years ago by a rural development. She's sold
Who is
over
it?
1,000 lots in the Natrona County
Who
area.
is it?
Lisa Burridge, Burridge.
Okay.
Burridge. It was,
Well, we wanted a new realtor.
She is a pretty well-known realtor.
Yeah, I've heard the name before.
I know
mean-
she's sold a lot of properties for states, but I guess my only discussion on that piece is, isn't that a joint decision?
what, I'm not signing any contracts. I don't sign any
That's
contracts.
my only.
Yeah.
I'm out
Shoot,
talking to him. That's my job.
Oh, I'm not questioning you. I'm just.
I mean,
saying,
that's what
isn't that a
that's
joint
what I'm-
decision?
He was just asking a
Yeah,
question.
that's what I'm supposed, yeah, this is, we're. I don't sign a contract when it costs the town any money or anything like that without your business, but I'm trying to use. Her expertise, her advice on how we did it, what she did, why Rural Development sent me there. Mills has done something very similar to what we're doing. They're just a few years ahead of us. And so I was told by Rural Development to go talk with Lisa and the mayor of Mills and see how they were doing it. And they gave us some advice, and I'm asking more advice, and it's whether we get into any kind of official agreement, but she's trying to point us the right direction on what we're doing.
Good.
And we, on our subdivision out here, how to market and stuff, I think is pretty important. It's what,
Well, I hope she helps with pricing, if we go with her to get pricing as well. What should the right price be for these lots?
I mean, yeah,
I think it really needs help with that.
I mean, there's.
I think we should sell the in-lot and let them have it for a cheap price, so they have to put in all the gas lines, the water lines, the sewer lines to the end, then we can sell the other lots in between.
I second that.
Oh, that would, yeah, that would be good. And
That's a
with Mel,
solid
she
business.
actually helped develop it. But anyway, that's why I'm in town.
Just asking.
Yes, yeah. But that's,
Did she seem interested?
yes. The word, whether we ink a contract, or it's just gonna be moral support still until further development, well, we're working on that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, you'd have to have any proposals worked out before bringing it.
No, I have had the Mayor Mills supplied me with the contract she had with Lisa. I've been working with the mayor and actually shot a copy of it to Marshall for review, ask his thoughts on stuff like that, but we're still early.
Oh, yeah.
We're not anywhere near.
I was just
there.
curious.
I'm just trying
interested in
to have, build some knowledge so I can talk intelligently and have an idea what we're getting into. And if it gets interesting, I'll be bringing it to the council.
You know, bringing it to the council would be, I think, sufficient, but it'd be great if she could come and talk to us.
Well, I'm working on
I
that.
think it's kind of a big enough deal that, I'd like to have her right there at the podium. John could take her place for right now, but, anyway. Yeah. Anyway, it's just, I'm just throwing that out there.
voucher, kind of like way out.
But I presented her with, gave her a lot of information about this and she's reviewing that.
Call the
Yeah.
question.
Okay, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye. Opposed the same. Motion passed, all in the affirmative. Public hearing, none. Ordinances, none. We have no scheduled appearances by citizens. Anybody want to present anything?
John just came to say hi to everybody. There you go.
Business licenses next. Amanda Smith. Lermy Tacky and more. Is that right?
move we approve the business license.
Is this her? You think?
What's the next one?
Oh. I'll second it.
And been moved and seconded, we approve the business license.
Well, I guess we were asked, where's it at?
For Amanda Smith. Any discussion?
Yeah. 106 West First Street. I don't know. We ain't got our map. I mean, is it zoned
Is that
R3 at least?
Phillies and Cream, isn't it?
No.
Or was the
First
business,
is on the dirt road.
This is,
or are they putting it in a other place than their actual address?
Yeah, it'd be R3.
this,
No, R3, at least be R3.
R3 allows for home office. and-
Yeah, because we don't have any, only thing that down there is commercial R3 on the south side of Second Street.
this is
Commercial and then.
where Norm used to live. I'm drawing a blank on his son,
Sean,
Sean Moore.
Sean Moore, that's what. it was.
Okay.
This
Yeah,
is,
I was trying to
yeah,
pinpoint it.
He's just 2 doors down from Miss Cooper's house.
yeah,
Peter.
close to your place there on that
Yep.
same little lot next to that.
Yeah, he's right next to that Ace Hardware old building.
Yes, yes, in the backside of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
so if they're
Southwest.
wanting to do it in like a home office style, then I think that would be permitted in R3. But if it was a regular retail,
Are we certain
So-
that that's R3 though?
I'll tell you in a second.
it's home office is like when your primary, we went through this a while back.
I think she.
According to our statutes, is if the primary purpose of the structure is your home, but you also do a business in the back room.
Right.
That's home office and it's permitted in R3.
We have that on the east side with that, we have minimum, it's called, same type thing.
Yeah.
I think it's, so, you know, that I'm talking about is over on King Street in lumberyard, younger building, this is old and this is not.
Yeah.
Some minnows, that are city.
I don't know. I'm all for
Sneak,
approving it. I just don't wanna,
It's that little white house.
I do know there's nothing on the south side of Second that is anything but commercial or something there. Oh, even some next side, yeah.
What did you make little ones?
so that would be 106 West First.
Truly R3.
So I was gonna get into
That's what
that.
you're doing, right? There's Idaho. West, right here.
Yeah, but
That's R.
No,
R3.
it's not yours. Yeah, we got almost more, it's hard for me to tell the difference, but I think it's hard.
The dad's.
And then we,
But those are, you know,
I think that's R3.
it's hard to.
R2 and 3 look awful alike. This is R2.
The only section of our
That's
lot
R2.
in town is on, I'm trying to.
You know what I mean? But it's a retail, right? Like fishing, camping, hunting, boating. Do we know if we're gonna have an additional structure? Because it sounds like they're selling stuff.
For what?
What was the question?
We can't hear.
Definitely on here, keep the house together.
Thank you.
There's no building license or building permit attached, it's strictly out of the existing structure, that's what they're applying for. Now they plan on expanding it later on, to do a building permit.
Which then that would have to be kind of more a commercial type zone.
Yeah, because then it would,
It wouldn't be home
office.
home office style.
so they would have to do that out of their existing structure, their residence. Would be the limitations of this business license, I guess, to answer.
Amanda? Huh?
That's Sean Moore's lot.
Okay, so who's running, who's gonna?
They're the next one.
Amanda's not here, so to speak on behalf of this.
Well, I think when we get, if we can approve this and just make sure that they're aware that it has to be a home office style in the R3 zoning. Then we'd be cool, I think.
What's gonna be in the business?
Camping, hunting.
Like a tackle shop, bait
Yeah.
shop.
So I like the long decades history of Shoshoni. So, you know, clearly the Ace Hardware was a business at one time. It is no longer that. I hear it's a cat shelter, but that's what I was told.
The Ace Hardware.
Was it
The old lumber
lumber store?
Oh,
That's adjacent to
Yeah,
where they live.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about that Shoshoni lumber.
yeah.
Shoshoni Lumberyard.
Yeah.
So,
Which has direct ties to President Gerald Ford, by the way.
great. Okay, he was a good president for almost one term. Is that a good business area for town? I'm not against the bill. I'm fine with that. I mean, if it's a home office, it is a home office.
It's kind of
That's fine.
boxed in there, hard to see, but
Yeah. It just historically, historically, it's a business area? I guess with the adjacent lumberyard. I'm just going, interesting place for business. I just scratching my
it's
head.
because it's their home.
Okay. Moving on.
You're not gonna see the sign from the street.
Unless it's. I think we have to approve that though. Yeah, flashes.
And a lot of people, they do like online sales too, they use their house and they package it, and send it in the mail, so it's not really a brick and mortar type store, it's more of a base of operations they send out. That might be.
I think this be fine.
Yeah, I have no problem with it.
I think as long as they know the limitations of the zoning. It's the only stipulation.
And if they ever expand, they would have to come here anyway, to the building permit.
Yes,
So we have that in check.
We have a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
I thought I did.
That's, I thought we did. I
You
did second. I thought we
Yeah.
did.
So,
So we was in discussion. Just no more discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion passed only affirmative. Next business. Wyoming Sips LLC, Anna Lawrence.
Come up here. Sure.
I just talked to the clerk on the phone and I'll just be in town with my beverage trailer for this weekend. I believe a weekend at the end of August and then also for the Senior Citizen Center fundraiser. I think it's in September. So I just submitted a business license for that and then they told me to come if you guys had any questions for me.
And
What?
is it like a a slushy place or just?
Yeah, so I do fresh squeezed lemonade and then dirty sodas and then like Red Bulls and stuff like
Did
that.
you
But
do it in Riverton today?
yes, at Rocky
It
Mountain.
was excellent.
Thank you.
My question, what's a dirty soda?
So it's like just a spin on a regular soda. So you do like a soda base and then you add like creams, syrups, stuff like purees, stuff like that to it. It's super popular in Utah, but it's pretty new to around Wyoming, I think.
Cause I've seen it said non-alcoholic, but I'm thinking.
Yeah.
maybe lemonade, that's got alcohol in it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I don't do alcohol or anything like that.
Yeah, that it said it did.
Boaz had one of those intensely on his birthday. He
Was it
liked
pretty
It was
good?
a soda base with strawberry or something and some cream.
Yeah, you can pretty much do anything you want with it.
Sounds good.
Do you sell,
He liked it.
do you sell Venti iced caramel macchiatos or? Yeah, no?
I tell people, I'm like, I do anything but alcohol and coffee because we have enough alcohol and coffee in Riverton. Like, good without that.
And hair salon shops.
Yes, exactly. Those three things, we don't need any more.
Yeah,
well, that's
true.
I'll
We
second
won't
it.
run into each
Been moved by Councilman second by Councilwoman Hartke that we approve the business license for Hannah Lawrence.
Or license, yeah, not permit
Yeah,
license, sorry.
business license, yes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed the same, motion passed all the time. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, and then I just had one question for you guys. Is that license good until the end of the calendar year or until?
Calendar year.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It would have
Thank
been
you.
nice to have samples. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's your business approach to tell him he can come get a sample on Saturday.
Yeah, for sure. I think be here on Saturday and Sunday this week.
We could have spread the good word. Yeah, we actually tasted it ourselves. And have it on YouTube for everybody to see. No, very good. Okay, unfinished business, bid opening number 16. I missed number 16, item 16. I missed that. It was in an envelope with another bid and the paper was folded and I just didn't catch the second one. See the second one. So that we have a bid and that was the John Deere 672 Patrol with a bad engine. We had a bid of KY Enterprises out of Missouri Valley for $1,510. Can I have a motion to accept that bid?
Did we have any other ones?
No, that was the only bid on that item.
And it needs a motor. Let's just get rid of it. Go with
All right,
it.
replaced it, but is it, my question for Marshall is, since we already did the bids, is it legal for us to accept this 2 weeks
Without
later?
further advertising.
I believe so, because you've already advertised it. and
We did
everything.
advertise it. We did not open any other bids
Yeah.
on this item. We just overlooked it.
Yeah, no, it's already been advertised, and if it wasn't open, none of the bids were brought up, I believe so, it's just missed.
It was my error, I missed it, but I didn't catch it when it was folded over.
This is
Didn't
a,
see it.
this is a big piece of equipment. isn't
Yes, it is.
I mean, if it's a grader,
Yes, it is.
so like, we're talking biggest this room, so.
No, well, yeah,
I mean,
Sort of.
guys, yeah.
It's the grader. They ran out of oil, if I reckon, right?
I don't think they ran out of oil. But they had engine failure. I don't know. Where did you hear? I've never heard that.
I heard it was ran out of oil by past maintenance.
No, I don't believe that was true. I think there's a rumor.
I don't know.
In fact, I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
Well, it wasn't out of oil when it blew up, but
Get rid of it.
I move we take the bid.
We've had a move and a second, correct? Then Councilman Harkey made the initial move and Councilman Stetler made a second. Any further discussion?
When can he pick it up?
None being,
I've
all in
already
favor?
replaced this equipment. We figured it needed so much work.
Right.
Yep.
All those in favor say aye.
I-
I oppose same motion passed. Well, Kim, will you notify KY Enterprises that that they just bought themselves a grader.
Did that, we didn't mention the compressor.
We dealt with that last
No,
week.
that was last, that was, in the bids,
Oh, so we already opened that
Yes.
piece of it?
Yes.
We just missed this one.
correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a folded, had both bids on one sheet. and
Right.
folded.
When I was on the call, I just didn't have great signal and was in and out for quite a
Right.
bit, so.
Yeah.
I heard bits and pieces of stuff. I just seen it on this sheet, so I just was making
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it was in the same. Yeah, I opened it, just did, I didn't see it.
10 for,
And we never told them it had to be in separate envelopes, so. Chief, would you like to talk about, am I missing anything?
Yeah.
New business?
Unfinished business, the real estate. you know.
Okay, yeah, that in, okay, we put that on, I forgot. Real estate. Here, would you like to pass that? Take a look at that. The Marshall look at them. Do see if there's any.
Some realty was not part of it.
Pardon?
They were not part of it.
Yeah,
We already fired him. Clear back in the beginning of the year.
January,
he brought this client,
doesn't matter. He was
And-
released from his duties in January.
he still brought this client. And he spent,
Was he working with the client before January?
yeah.
But
Yes, he was.
he was let go, and then this was not a purchase the land, it was a bid. No different than the bid that was just presented on the tractor and everything else.
Right.
And
This is-
therefore, there's no contract litigations or obligations, excuse me, with Sun Realty on this piece of property. This was a submitted bid. So that's like saying I advertised our equipment, so I'm due earnest money because it was a bid.
Well-
No,
Well, Sun Realty called the buyer up and persuaded him to place the bid. Sun Realty hand delivered his bid to our office.
Well, that's pretty funny, because I know somebody else that called him and had to do it, not some relatives.
Sun Realty, the one that got him to move forward.
No, he wasn't.
No,
No, he wasn't.
that's not true.
yes, I believe it is.
I know it's not.
Why isn't that?
Because we had called him and asked him if he wanted to bid it outright, if he wanted to be on the bid. Sun Realty had nothing to do with it. It
And when did you make that call?
was me and Chris that made the call
When did you make that call?
before we set up the bids.
Sure, but he did not make his bid till at the last moment when Sun Realty.
Sun Realty wasn't a part.
And
Sun
really,
Realty-
that's-
recall back.
that's really, tell you the truth, that's exceeding your.
We just
What you
asked him if he
doing?
wanted to do
What you doing,
economical or
Christian,
the
you
other.
doing?
You
Okay.
go and do it.
I'm the mayor, I'm supposed to be. But
Well,
anyway,
so
Sun
I'm not allowed
Realty,
to
he
ask
wasn't gonna
questions?
place the bid till the last day, and Sun Realty called him up in the afternoon.
Sun
and got
Realty
him.
wasn't our realtor. He was let go from his duties other than the current obligations that are current on the corner. Back in January. This is dated July 8th.
Yeah.
And it
Well, he
was,
just, that's the offer that just came in.
and it was a bid. There was, so
But
the Sun Realty piece,
hundreds of hours on trying to,
And not
Help
sold a
Shoshoni.
thing.
well, yeah, we tied his hands where he couldn't sell anything. We had this, we could have sold this property for $80,000, but the council we decided, and I agreed that we ought to keep it try to do it for economic development. And so that did not go anywhere.
So Marshall, with the open bid, do we have to pay a realtor?
I see a couple issues. One is the timing. My understanding is you no longer had a contract after the council voted the landscape regarding realtors and getting commissions as a seller versus buyer now because of previous litigation last year. That was nationwide, has to be done before there's an agreement. And they have to inform both the buyer and the seller who they represent in the contract. I don't believe that happened here. I believe he was let go back in January. And he didn't have a contract any longer at that point in time or an obligation.
So we don't owe him the money.
I do not believe legally. Well, let me put it this way, if you want to get into legal questions, in my opinion, that would be an executive session. I'm telling you from time-wise, he was let go in January. By the rules, there has to be a contract in place for an expectation of getting paid. By either the buyer or the seller, and they both have to be implemented.
So you alluded to an executive session. I have no idea what would cause that. I mean, I just don't know. It might be worth it to go into an executive
Potential
session,
litigation.
just to hear. I mean, Daniel, what do you think?
I vote we go into executive session.
I believe you guys would have to vote to amend the agenda.
So I move that we amend the agenda to include an executive session at this point in the agenda.
And I'll second it.
Been moved by Councilman Nordine, seconded by Councilwoman Harkey, that we go into executive session.
We amend the agenda
Oh, we amend the
To
agenda
include
to
it.
include an executive set.
at
Yes,
this time.
at this time. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye.
Right?
Aye. Both saying, motion passed, and all in the affirmative. Can I have a motion to go into executive session and the reason why?
I'll make a motion.
Go into executive session and why? We gotta have a reason why.
Discuss the bid.
The contracts.
Potential.
For potential litigations. There's a statute, we could quote, what I forget what it is, state statute. It's been moved
Second.
and second by Councilman Nordine that we're going to executive session for discuss potential litigation. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Shall we go?
We're in town this weekend. I'll bring my boys by for a dirty soda.
I had lemonade today and it was awesome. It was awesome. Somebody walked from the liquor store over to the and got 4 of them today. Got the one for the little girl and us. Yes, they were great.
My wife's had the dirty soda.
Where are you gonna be serving?
Down at the 3-on-3 tournament this weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think it takes place like over near the park,
Yeah.
I think on that street, so,
Okay.
yeah, I'll bring my trailer down and I'll get it all set up on Friday night. And then I think it starts at 9 AM on Saturday.
Okay.
We'll be down there, I'm sure that they'll have some other vendors and stuff lined up and.
I didn't realize that tournament was already here.
I know, it's like summer is flying right by, I can't
Yeah.
believe we have 4th of July. It's crazy. Do you come to a lot of these?
I've come to a few of them. I just moved to Shoshoni last November
Oh, wow.
from DuBois, and I was the mayor in DuBois for 4
Oh,
years.
nice.
And that's where I met Joel, and so I came down to see how this town does things.
Yeah,
A little different than the way I did them, but.
yeah.
so-
This is nice in here.
Yeah.
Actually, we grew up in Kirby
Okay.
And so our mom's actually the mayor of Kirby right
Oh,
now.
very good.
And before
How many people
that,
live there?
well, we grew up there a whole
You
lot.
just moved, so population, you had to change it to zero. when you get back.
Yeah, right?
Change it back,
Right.
when you get back home.
Yeah, but before our mom, like our grandma was the mayor,
Oh, yeah.
both of my aunts were on the council,
Right.
like it just goes forever, so. Like I've been to, Wham and stuff before, yeah. Yeah, I like walked in here, I was like, wow, this is really nice.
Yeah, they did a good job in here.
Our
They'll make a pit stop on that.
town hall is a little dusty there at Old Kirk.
Oh, yeah. What is it, a back room with at the distillery?
I wish, it'd probably be more fun.
Right, yeah, you have a little break time.
Yeah, exactly.
Shop time. Sit down.
No. We're just talking and the little Zoom's on, so.
Oh, secret stuff.
Well, they were on, you know, this.
Oh.
Do that, and get the title agency, you gotta pay the $500 deal. We went down there, $500. That's, I handed them a certified check for the amount. They handed me the title. There was no thousands for realtors.
Oh.
Motion moved back into regular
Make a
session,
motion. Move back into council.
Second.
moved by Councilwoman Harkey, second by Councilman Whitener. Right. And for discussion,
Yeah, who stole my pen?
Oh, no.
Oh, is there?
There it is.
It's just-
I gave it to him.
and for any other discussion, none being all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed the same. Motion passed, all affirmative. So we were in the middle of talking about the contract was presented to us to buy or sell real estate. We were we in discussion when we left, or had we had a motion to, we had a motion to approve and we were in discussion, correct? That correct, Kim?
I don't think we have a
Yeah,
motion
there's
to
no
approve.
motion.
There's
Yeah, I
no
think we-
motion to approve.
That was my question.
No, there was not.
Okay, so we have no motion to.
No, it
approve.
went straight to Mark amending the agenda to include the executive session. And then the vote to pass that.
To go into executive, so we had no, I just want to make sure we didn't have a motion on the table. Can I have a motion to approve the contract that was presented to us to purchase real property? I don't have it sitting in front of me.
Are we in discussion?
There's
No,
not been a motion.
that was my question. Were we in discussion or did we have a motion?
I have a question when we get there.
Yeah,
So just I guess a question before we make that motion. Do we have to
no,
address it? So if we don't want to need an emotion, then we can pretty much just,
if you don't, if there's not a motion, then the motion is dead.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
so if we, but we'll still be able to have a discussion about it.
We can,
We need to have a motion in order to have. a
yeah, we
discussion.
should have a motion in seconds and then go into discussion if we want to
All
talk
right,
about it.
then on that
Or
basis.
Or if we don't bring it,
I move that we have our town attorney write up a contract on the sale of the properties in question.
I'll second that.
okay, we had no motion on the approval of the contract, so. So we did get a motion from Councilman Stetler that we have our town attorney draw up a contract and present it to the buyer. And we'll present it to the buyer, correct? And we have a second by Councilman Whitener. Discussion.
Two questions, versus Marshall. Is there anything that stops the buyer, from using Sun Realty as their agent to purchase?
No, there's not.
Nope.
And then the second part of that is because it looks like he paid a retainage or earnest money. The buyer already gave earnest money to Sun Realty. How's that?
That would be between the buyer and Sun Realty.
Sorry, I'm clarifying.
Any more discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Pose the same. Motion passed all in the affirmative. So Marshall, if you get that to me, the contract, I will
We never said any.
will reach out to. That's why I was asking those questions. I guess to Gino,
Yeah, the bid winner.
the bid winner, I'll reach out to Gino.
I know I've bought property before where it was just a deal we made. We met at the title company. And it cost like $500 or something to do the whole deal. I mean, there was nothing, nothing. We agreed on a price, we both showed up, signed the paperwork,
Got a warranty deed.
a quick claim maybe, or whichever
Well,
warranty deed. I guess it
well,
would be a
there's
warranty
a-
deed. No, a warranty deed. I don't know all the terminology, but it was recorded in the county that we bought it.
So it can be done without a warranty deed. But most people want a warranty deed, but you don't have to.
I don't remember, it was a long time ago, I don't.
But you can do
remember
just a
what it was.
quick claim deed without a warranty deed and two exactly.
I think it probably was a warranty deed, I don't remember. It's a long time ago, but it was. It's met down there, here's your certified check, sir. Here's your check to the title company, thank you for the paperwork. That. I thought that's what. I like Dave. And I know he's done a lot of work for our town, but the fact of the matter is last January, we terminated all contracts.
Yeah. I thought we had a discussion that we were gonna, basically sell the property. Like how you bought it and how Bo bought the property in a similar manner, which is. The contract, similar to what was there, and the only difference is we're not represented by a realtor this time. But go through a title company and.
Right.
And pay for a warranty deed and do that
I
sort
think
of
it's pretty
stuff.
standard to split.
And
Warranty deed.
well, the warranty deeds usually paid by the seller. But the title company, the rest of that stuff, the closing costs is usually split.
That's it.
Usually the seller provides the warranty deed typically, but that's not that expensive.
It's my phone vibrating.
Is that yours?
Probably somebody wanting to join 3-on-3. Too late.
Any further discussion? Any comments you'd like to make?
I would like to make one comment. It's been made clear he needs to remove his signage. It's nothing personal, it's what we agreed upon and we need to follow suit.
And that's remove the signage that's on town property. Correct. Right.
Unless we have some sort of agreement to allow him to advertise
You could do it on private property, but not town property.
Mhm. Marshall, do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, I think everybody's pretty much covered it.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. Didn't we have a motion in a second? No?
Wouldn't that pass?
Yeah, it was fast.
Oh, okay, I thought we still had some, okay. We're done. We got extras talking, okay, I thought we went into discussion then. Place report.
Just first quick update on the ambulance, so. We should have the decals on it sometime this month, but, I have a meeting tomorrow with, state EMS to get the waters reporting system implemented, so. After that, we will be able to, respond on calls. Our coverage area will be Shoshoni to the canyon tunnels, about post 115, northbound on 20, east to the county line, and west to about B and K. That's our general coverage area. We will respond. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with Frontier. They're obviously not going to like that. I hope that they understand that we can't deal with hour-long waits for them to get over here if they have an ambulance available. And we'll hopefully work that out. When something comes, so we're not having any issues in the future. So I'm sure that we'll be in touch with them and the county, who we already paid dispatch fees, will be dispatching us when we're available. So just making that clear that you don't have to call town hall when the ambulance is active and available. You just call for an ambulance if you need one, and then we'll respond. Initially, we're looking at limited coverage days just because of availability of EMTs. We have one right now. But as we progress through this fall, we'll be putting on a EMS class or EMT class, like I said before, on Saturdays. And we hope to be able to, all the police officers will be certified as a basic level. So that will expand the coverage to 7 days a week once we do that, and go from there. And so we gotta learn how to crawl before we run. So that's kind of what we're slowly phasing this in before we are fully 7 days a week. But we'll get there this year. We got to start slowly and build up to that point. As far as the police report, I know I didn't do May last time, so
we're just requesting, sorry. We're not 7 days a week coverage, so the other ambulance company.
they're still gonna have to, yeah, we're not replacing them yet.
Yeah.
Right now we're supplementing, and we're a force multiplier at this point.
The force multiplier. That's a good question.
So, but we'll get there.
Okay. Just
jumping back to May, our calls for service for the month year over year were up compared to 24, 23, and 22. As you know, we did have a operation that we put into place here in Shoshoni, where we executed 3 search warrants simultaneously with the assistance of Riverton PD. That was the culmination of a 3-month investigation from Shoshoni Police Department into narcotics and controlled substance distribution within Shoshoni. That resulted in 4 arrests, as well as a seizure of over a pound of methamphetamines and other controlled substances and contraband. That investigation, that portion of it has been completed, but I want to make it clear that investigation is not completed, just that portion. So there's more to come. So for those that are out there that are still thinking that they can do that, or they've been involved in that, we know who you are. We know where you are. And when we choose to, we will come visit you. I'll say to that one.
kind of felt like the Ayatollah.
But I just want to make it clear that that's not the end of this. It's still continuing. So if you look at, in May to June, you'll start seeing the transition from calls of service type, where they're more involved in, citizen to citizen welfare checks and things of that nature around town, more going towards, traffic related in nature calls for service, from crashes to traffic complaints, road rage, ready reports, DUI. Those are kind of what we're seeing now. So that's taking up a lot of our time for calls for services, dealing with those types of things, which beginning of, summer travel, Yellowstone, Tetons, all that kind of this area. That's kind of what is part of the course, nothing out of the ordinary. Our animal control, we had 3 calls for service that we implemented for animal problems. We're continuing to do that. Some of them are repeat customers, so to speak. I wish I could say that I could solve the problem. I can contact someone, I can ticket them, I can do all these different things. Doesn't mean they're going to stop or deal with the problem that we're responding to. So if you still see dogs barking, it's not that we're not contacting and doing something about it. We can't solve all problems. We're not going to put them in prison for barking dogs. So some of it's on the people themselves taking accountability. We can keep ticketing them. We can keep sending them to court, but at the end of the day, there's only so much we can do with the animals, unless the animals are doing something more than just barking or being a nuisance. But we are trying. Now, when it comes to weeds, that's a different issue. So we are going to be putting out door hangers this coming week. They'll have till the end of the month to clean them and remediate them. If not, town ordinance, that we can do something about. Ordinance allows for the town to remedy that problem at the owner's expense if we have to, for weeds and weed control and things of that nature and nuisances in the yards. So that is a mechanism that we can fix those. If it doesn't get fixed, the person doesn't fix it. So that will be coming next. I think most people are doing a pretty good job for the most part with their weeds. There's some that aren't really doing a very good job, but the weeds are half the alley. You have to remain clear behind your house if you have an alley, and your street all the way to the end of the curb. So the town's right of way is still your responsibility to take care of if you reside in that house. If it's a vacant house, then the landowner's responsible. Same thing with it. If it's a vacant piece of land where there's nothing on it at all, the landowner is still responsible for that. In the past, the town has mowed the right of way as far as the walking path we have built for kids to walk on. And so I do expect that to continue on areas where they're unoccupied. Barren land, we'll do those. But if you're a landowner and you have a pathway in front of your house and you don't mow it, we're not going to mow it for you. We'll ticket you, then we'll mow it, and then we'll charge you. So things are gonna be a little bit different this year than they've been in the years of the past, because we've been doing this for 5 years now. I think people should have the message now that just take care of the front of your house. There's some areas with garbage in people's yards. When I say garbage, I mean refrigerators, couches, things of that nature. Those are, again, a nuisance, a problem, and we're going to remedy those as well. So we're trying to give people this month to get it done on their own. They had spring cleaning. They didn't take advantage of it. The town paid for all of that. Again, I can't force people to do the right thing, but we can remedy it and deal with it that way. So that's pretty much where we're at as far as our enforcement priorities for this current time. So any questions?
With the weeds, are there any particular, is it the entire town that you're really focusing on, or is it primary corridors?
Well, it's the entire town.
Yeah.
Because they, are breeding grounds for mosquitoes and they just look trashy for one. Obviously, we want to clean up our main corridor through town, as that's what everyone sees as they drive through. So we want to make sure, but I think just focusing on one area and ignoring the rest and saying it's okay to live like garbage over here. But if you live on Main Street or Second Street, you better be, wrong message to send, but I know what you're saying. I think we need to, but we're doing the whole town.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, fairness and it really makes sense.
Yeah, we're not gonna target anybody or any one area. It's gonna be uniformly applied.
I appreciate you going after the trash, refrigerators and couches and things which seem kind of silly, but that's just me. But we still have these houses that are abandoned or they look abandoned, and a lot of their trash is, some of it's sitting outside the wall that they built, but it's still, I mean,
We had one house that stored, I don't know how many bags of trash in a shed, and it started to really stink. And so we did the same thing with the landowners responsible, was abandoned owners living in it. So, and the landlord never replied. We cleaned it out, remedied it, and then sent them the bill. I don't know where the status of that is, a couple of years ago. That's kind of what we would do on that one if it comes to that process or that problem persists, that we'll have to do that. If it's a hazard. As far as the derelict buildings, that's a whole different ballgame outside just the police department's thing. I think that's more of a town administration thing on getting that cleaned up and how we're gonna approach that. But there's quite a few houses in this town that need to be demolished. But that's not something that I explicitly can cover. It does need to be dealt with.
There is some of that we need to look at where we've had some legislation that's tried to help. Been softened, some that try to help municipalities deal with, derelict buildings and give a little more assistance to the municipalities doing that. But there's been a lot of big pushback on that, and especially from banks. May have, have mortgage or interest on some of these over. Yeah, I mean, it's been big. Laramie was a big deal.
oh yeah, I'm sure it's been there. So let the banks take care of it then.
Well, see, that's what they're not wanting to do if they refinance it, yeah.
There is a process to deal with it, but it, for an actual building, it's gonna involve the town council voting on condemning the building,
Yes.
using eminent domain to take it. And then finding out who the landowner is, doing appraisals. Trying to work with them, if it doesn't work, going to court and trying to make sure that there is a bank involved, serving them so they have notice. So all,
There should be a due process that makes sense. I mean,
yeah, it is, but. I'm just letting you know, there's a political part of that, and that involves the town council voting to use eminent domain. A lot of people don't like that. So I'm just letting you, that's where the process starts.
eminent domain.
Yeah, you're condemning it.
Yeah.
Condemning the property for being a nuisance.
John, did you have a question? Sorry.
I'm John Meyer, just a citizen. I appreciate all that the police department is doing, and especially was gladdened to hear about the arrests. My question is, you've arrested 4 people. Has there been any convictions?
Well, we've had some plea deals, but nothing in the courts.
That
as
you
you
can
know.
talk about?
Yeah, as you know, the courts take time, they
Right.
plea deals, whatever the outcome is still pending. Usually it takes, even with if someone were to make a plea deal, still have to go through the steps. So it could be a couple months, but I'm sure by the end of the year, it'll all be rectified of those ones that were arrested
Okay,
initially.
thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Anything else? Tammy, you got anything you'd like to bring?
I would say out front of the building looks really nice with all that grass and stuff and the trees. It looks really nice. Going up there.
Bart and others worked really hard on
They,
it.
it
Bart
really
really
looks
put
good.
on.
And I've had people even tell me how nice it's looking, so.
Yeah.
People are noticing.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
that was a big step
Yeah.
forward, yes.
that's all I got.
Jake?
I just wanted to bring up again, we really should finish that ordinance deal. That we had a ton of work sessions in, I mean, and then we talked about the trail, updating our trailer house ordinance and. We really gotta finish that at some point. So,
Maybe our next council meeting, better schedule that.
yeah,
What was the ordinance thing with that?
So we went through this company out of Utah and they took our ordinance book and then they gave a bunch of recommendations on updating them. Some of our ordinances there's a lot, in my opinion, there's a lot of subject to interpretation. It's not real clear cut. Plus, a lot of the stuff's just plumb outdated. And so we had, I don't know how many work sessions going through all their suggestions. Yeah, we like that. No, we don't like that. So we need to compile it. What the thought was to have one big gigantic ordinance change all in one swath. That it's been years in the making. Like with the some of the minimum square footage for a house in R1. Or, I don't remember.
What's allowed? What's allowed?
What's allowed, yeah, and doing away, so like I am, and the mushroom plant is SR, which is the closest thing we got it's agriculture of sorts, but we're gonna do away with that and just have plain old agriculture, changing some of the zoning. And then we also talked about at that time, there's a lot of the town that isn't zoned. Maybe zoning that all in one whack according to how it's being used, so that we're not adversely affecting the landowners. But where it's not zoned, it's a complete free for all, which is fine if that's how we want it, but it's not that way for everyone, just for the people that nobody cared enough to zone their property. And anyways, there's a whole book of them that we've gone through and made notes and additions, and it's a pile of work for the clerk's office and all that. But when we get that all the changes that we agreed upon, previous council at this point agreed upon compiled, we could just thumb through it. Yep, everything's cool, and then do a bunch of ordinances in one advertisement. So we don't have to advertise every single little change. We advertise the complete ordinance.
One swath, so
Save a lot of money, save a lot of time, and we badly need some updates.
I can send you, and Jordan, since you weren't here, what was sent to us originally. And then that's kind of on me. I just have not,
They're too busy
I'm just,
busting meth dealers, I guess.
well, no, I mean, that's on me. I said I would get it put together with all the changes we made. Word documents and then resend it out. I have not done that yet, so that's on me. But I'll send you what we originally got, so you have an idea what we're talking about, so you can actually see it. It's about 100 pages. It's there's a lot there. Now it's gonna be condensed, obviously, because a lot of it was more talking points that we.
The way it's formatted and the way we went through, so like if you're R1, okay, you can do this, this is all allowed, this ain't allowed. It's very simple to read and understand. Our ordinances are kind of tough to interpret, some of them. And so what's allowable, what's not allowable, and all the zones would be straightforward. And then we went through like in the agriculture, like no dairies would be allowed with, in certain cases, things like that, so that it doesn't preclude a bunch of the things, but it still has regulations, so you don't have like 1,000 dairy cows west of town. But
It's pretty much.
we
all
looked at
encompassing.
building ordinances and just
Yeah.
a lot of things. You know, we had a consultant that too much big city on someone without her idea.
yeah, we have X'd a lot of that stuff out. It just don't fit our town. We just want to update the town a little, not change it.
We don't want to
I'll
match
say.
Riverton.
I'll send them to you guys so you can review it, so you have an idea.
I thought we had a pretty good rough draft.
And if
Yeah.
I may make a point to like your ordinances, I mean, they've been butchered I want to say, I'm going to use that
Yeah.
word because they've been X'd out and then some changed and added in, so it. A lot of it doesn't make sense. When you go through it, and so for me to try to interpret what's been X'd out, voted on, and someone's. One paragraph change to what they voted in later makes it pretty.
Yeah, clear as mud, huh?
ambiguous, yeah.
That's why what's online is the most current version with no Xing out. It's whatever it was changed to online.
Well, I know, but someone.
But our
what's
books
online-
back here we have are all over the place.
Right, so even online, it has one where you can see where it's crossed out, I'll pull it up, and then the next page has the next version, and you read the next version,
Oh,
and you're like. That is pretty poor, the first one was very clear, the second one that people voted in isn't, and now I'm stuck like this, just is not good. Right, and so in all honesty, instead of just ordinances, also when, I would suggest every 3 or 4 years as we redo them. You have me or another firm recodify them every 5 years. So it is a clean version and they all make sense and all the changes are tracked for every year.
Want to
That would be
clarify
my
this,
suggestion.
this doesn't, what we went through does not fix all of that, but it fixes a lot of things, but not everything.
Well, what I'm talking about is it could be done where once you approve everything, everything gets recodified, the whole book is redone, and then every change is tracked, you know, when it was done, what the previous one was done.
Right.
The old ones are kept somewhere, but at least that way you have a clean version that makes sense. Without necessarily changing ordinances, but trying to read it and review it and everything else. It's all said and done.
Sounds like a plan. That's all I wanted to bring up.
There's, yeah. We. The consultant we hired, they got bought out and there was changes. That's sort of, I don't know where we're at with them, Chris.
I just gotta put everything together and retype everything and send it out.
Okay.
Update it basically of what we got, the Word documents to send
Right.
out. It's just,
Mark.
clone.
So we are now past July 1st, and now we have laws from the legislative session are now in effect. And so I brought up in the past that I think it'd be good for us to talk about the new gun legislation, House Bill 172. And I've been thinking a lot about that and what would be appropriate, what wouldn't be appropriate. Right now, due to 172, people can carry concealed to our meetings. They just simply
forgot.
can't, so they can bring that. And there's no changes in open carry. So at this point, unless we had something here, then at that point, it just, somebody could carry openly into our meeting as well.
Really could be.
Yes.
I think you could be fooled.
Yeah, and so. I said that I would bring forward a suggested policy. And to be blunt, I changed my mind. I just changed my mind. I'm not going to bring it forward. I'm not going to bring it up. This is the last time you hear me talk about it. And a big reason for that is that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's kind of and it's data supports that people who carry are law-abiding citizens. And nothing personal, Chris, but they're more law-abiding than police officers. So at least that's what the data show. Anyway,
I can
it's
share a lot of
Texas
data.
and Florida, so that's where the studies were done. So I am not going to be bringing anything forward. I'm just leaving it set, unless you would like me to bring something forward. But right now, I'm not going to.
All gun laws are unconstitutional, aren't they? That's
No.
what the Second Amendment says.
Well, the Supreme Court might disagree with you, but
I would,
And
I
then
would
it-
also disagree just based on history. So,
Scalia did a lot.
if you wanted to go by history, everybody should be part of the militia and trained annually to carry a gun, and if they don't qualify to be part of the militia, you couldn't carry a gun. Up until 1906.
A lot of them shouldn't be able to breed either.
Gotta have a license to drive a car, but not.
I think we had that in the fifties. That kind of got struck down, I believe, too.
Yeah,
So anyway, I'm not bringing anything forward. I just really.
I will say that, when we built this town hall, security was in mind, so we have controlled access points coming in, so, and everything's, I don't care if people know, I mean, it's bulletproof. It can withstand pretty much what anyone's gonna be able to get commercially. As well as there's things that mitigate it in this chamber as well, so at least, putting in place roadblocks, if somebody were to have bad intentions, we have security in this building, or we didn't have it in the old building, so,
But during our council meetings, we're open.
yeah. So I
But this is bullet resistant, what we're sitting behind right now.
Have we verified that yet?
We actually, Chris actually took
Chris,
some of it out and shot.
Well, I took the material and I threw everything that we have at it. And it didn't penetrate everything. I mean, when I say everything, I'm saying everything we had at the time. I will say there is some things that I do have that will penetrate it, but you can't get it on the streets. So I'll just say that.
I'll bet I got some stuff that'll penetrate it.
I need to come pay you a visit.
I may have seen somewhere.
That's better.
Read an article in Reader's Digest.
Yeah. I believe.
But I mean, we put together everything we could as far as mitigation, just for safety of the staff and people here. Which I think is even more prudent with, that. And I think that's what every place should be doing, just for their own security, with or without people being armed or not. So,
You got us some pretty good grants on that. Chris did when we were.
yeah, our cameras have, lots of advanced features. Not really gonna get into all of those, but just know that they are very advanced. What they
Thanks for
can do.
doing them. I'm done.
Jordan.
With it being July, that's month 7. I had a note set on my calendar to talk about the airport. We talked about increasing the airport for 6 months and revisiting that. And so I drove out there yesterday afternoon, and the second building that was kind of standing but about to go is about one windstorm from catastrophe. The other building I think just needs one fly to hit it wrong and it's gonna go. Those two buildings are in terrible shape. And then I know we had talked about a fencing quote, or Mike did. So I think we do need to revisit that on next council.
We did take a bid. And we got a contractor that's gonna put the fence in.
And that certainly reiterates why we need to revisit the 6-month.
And I also went out, yesterday, matter of fact, and went over and took a close look again. There's 2 of them that need demoed, removed. There's one needs some repair that could be salvageable, but definitely needs some upgrading. And then we got a good one.
The good one, is obviously really nice, and I feel for the gentleman that pours into that, but the other ones Um. Obviously, there's no playing zone.
Have we got any response from any of our renters out there, Kim? Have the city received any?
No, not from there.
Have we-
Have
Better.
they paid? They
Yes,
all just paid
for 6 months.
for the 6 months?
No, they paid for a year. Remember I showed you?
Yeah,
I said they didn't read the contract. But it had changed. So they sent full payment. Instead of paying for 6 months. So,
And so at that point, would we have to reissue them payment?
the
Reimbursement for,
contract itself states 6 months.
right.
Yeah,
But
they
if
sent
they-
$100, correct?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
6 months. It used to be $100 for a year.
yeah,
So they sent $100, which is 6 months.
no,
That's what the
No.
contract said.
no. They paid double.
They paid 200.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thinking that they would automatically be renewed at the 6 month mark. So that's my question. If there wasn't any renewal or anything of maintenance, would we have to reimburse back? Yes.
My guess is we probably, if we're canceling the contract at 6 months.
Well, it's up at 6 months.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah,
So it'll have to be a new contract. So that's where I'm
that
at.
was my guess, but I'm not an attorney.
I believe you'd have to reimburse them the money.
That's okay. I thought.
So I just want to review that because obviously we got money going into the fence. I don't remember what his exact quote was. I'd have to look back at a page of my notes, but it was 5,000 or 7,000.
7,200
Yeah.
or wasn't it, or was it 8,000?
No, it was,
We had one bid for something about 8 or
79.
something. Okay, 79, something almost 8,
yeah,
I think.
So that's a big cost. And then if the buildings are,
And then I did get a bid from somebody else that was quite a bit more.
and then the buildings, if we have to do something with those. So I definitely think it's time to review that at that 6 month mark.
No, I actually showed someone that's thinking of maybe putting a hanger out there, and that was our conversation.
That's all I got.
I just one question. Is there an event coming up relatively soon? This is July in Shoshoni. I just thought you might have some input on that.
There are our 4th annual 3-on-3 basketball tournament is going on. And we are upwards of 60 teams this year, which is a little bit down from years past. And what we've seen is we haven't really seen a big hit to the boys division. The boys division is pretty on par. What we have seen is a drastic hit to the girls division with no 9 and 10-year-old girls participating and no 17, 18-year-old girls participating. And so for what reason that is, I have my own speculation, but we'll keep prevailing as we always do.
That's a big event every year. It's
I got pole play built. And with what we currently got, we're looking at about 270 games played on Saturday.
a lot of basketball getting played.
Yeah, I would think that court's getting some use.
Yes, that was, I think that was a real good investment.
Just did a great job with it.
So, and then obviously we've got a food vendor coming in, live DJ. Still kind of working on what we're gonna give away for the 3-door prizes that we give away. You know, in years past, we did it on Father's Day, changed that this year due to high school teams, boys specifically reaching out to me, coaches that I know across the state and just saying, all of June, we're traveling for team camps. And I was too, so, that being said, you know, we were hoping that maybe July would be a better fit, but then you get later into July and you're flirting with Fair and Cheyenne Frontier Days, and so really, I don't know that you can say there's any particular right time.
Sure. There's always something going on.
Always something going on, so we'll have the Dirty Sips or whatever there, and a food vendor, and yeah, I mean, it'll be a good time for sure. Hopefully, we had some other council members and yourself get a chance to visit with the adjacent landowner.
I've tried a couple
Oh.
times and haven't been able to catch him at home.
I ain't going over there.
I went, I
We
went
got
and knocked
police
on the
officers
door.
for that crap.
He tries to throw me on my own.
And I even sit and BSJ for about an hour and a half waiting for him to show back up.
Cause I
My
really,
rain slicker,
I
don't
mean,
want that rain.
not going off of prior track, but for whatever reason, this event gets his blood flowing.
It's already there.
And so,
Oh, wow.
I think it would be ideal as we get to this weekend if somebody could get a hold
I'll
of
try
him
to do that again.
and outline basically the no grief accepted. You've had that opportunity the last 3 years. Pretty black and white, I feel like this year.
Mhm.
And look back and last year, you know, right in front of that door, there was 2 girls divisions on that court. So maybe that's a possible reason we're down in the girls divisions. I think there's some other reasons, but I'd gladly share those with you in private.
You bet. That's a great event. You and Chris have teamed up to help put that on. It's a good thing for Shoshone.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's send Councilman Nordine to smooth things over. I don't know that you've had the pleasure of a nice discussion.
I saw Chris in action with him and he was awesome.
I don't know what time you saw me in action with him, but
Oh, yeah, you seen it.
He'll go with you.
John is the enforcer.
Yeah.
All right, 2 cripples going there. So, I forgot to say one thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Monday evening, Hot Notes Cool Nights is going to be in the park.
Oh,
So, cool. That's.
what time is that?
It's at 7, I believe. So anyway. I hope so. I doubt it. The music will be good. The artist that's gonna be, it's a group that's coming out here, they're jazz on. And I've been here, they've been practicing down the hallway in my building, and so I've been hearing them. And it's not.
they usually send us a flyer. I haven't got anything.
Yeah, I haven't
to
seen
advertise.
this. They've
We usually
last
advertise
2
for
years
them.
in a row.
You know what?
Don't fly out,
I
Yeah.
haven't seen it 1 year.
right?
Well, if you don't mind, you can get them to send us something, or you can
Yeah.
get us something, we can get it advertised.
Yeah,
Thought you're pulling a checkbook. I was like,
they're gonna be here next Monday.
They're coming here on Monday.
That's awesome.
I'll get it out there. I just need to get some information. They have a flyer or whatever information. I can get it out there.
Remember that giant hailstorm?
Yep.
Yes,
That was crazy. We leave the place, which is in city limits. And it's beautiful and the sun's shining and we make it like past the old motel and there's an inch of hail on the ground. It's like, well.
it went around, it did some hail in town, but just same thing east. There was an inch or more of hail on the highway
What day was this?
It was when they had the hot
2 years ago.
cool
yeah,
nights
yeah.
or whatever it was called.
Yeah, but out at our place, we didn't get nothing, not even a raindrop, nothing.
Well, I know when it hailed here, I left my wife in her truck to get hailed on. I got my brand new patrol truck and I drove it underneath the awning at the old town hall to protect my patrol vehicle because
You didn't want to hear about it. The repair bill,
oh, she got mad.
I bet. But did you die?
No, she did not.
No, but did you die?
Oh, I was close. But yeah, that was a crazy storm. Way off track, sorry.
Ready for the mayor's? Okay, one thing we got, I want to touch base is we're gonna have to vacate. 4th Street. Between Idaho. And California, that was never, ever done according to the county, and we can't find any record of wherever it was done.
And the alleys too.
Yeah, in the alley.
Yeah.
And and also we're gonna have to do that down.
I thought we did vacate the alley on Fast Lane.
I remember doing it,
I
but
thought
we never filed it with the county, so that's on ours, but that was like my first year here and I didn't know. how to
Yeah,
do
that was in 20. We did
Yeah, I didn't know.
officially.
So I think I can go back and get the minutes and get that
Can
rectified.
find that, and
Or we
then,
could just do it again if it's
And
easier.
if not, we can just do it again.
then I don't think we vacated the one down between. Maple and Pine. Between 3rd and 4th Street, that block, we traded part of this land deal to get this building. I don't think we vacated that alley either,
No, we did not.
so. But anyway,
Does that
the
one
the
need vacated?
county planner was looking and seeing those things. And I thought 4th Street was vacated.
Does that one need vacated?
Well, it
4th Street?
shows
No,
vacated,
between-
but it was never filed
Between
or
Maple
something.
and Pine. Just mention.
No, there is something to do
I don't,
with the
I don't-
sewer line going through there.
That's what I'm saying. I
But,
don't
but
know.
I,
that-
but I think it's in the wrong, maybe in the wrong place, because that was surveyed wrong.
Not the town.
There's something we gotta check, there's something with that.
well, and I don't know if you can vacate it either because there's natural gas and stuff that runs down that now. They redid that line. When that trailer house was moved off. That's been a lot of years ago.
I don't know about that one.
And if you
Oh, Ken
drive-
Kipp's trailer house?
If you drive by it, there's, the gas pylons that they put in now that stick up pretty far. Speaking of which. With them putting in the gas on Pine. On the 400th block there on the corner. Are they going to repair that section of Pine?
Yeah, they got to, but they've been about long enough, that was.
Cause it's starting to crumble away from where they
Yeah.
saw.
That's pretty bad.
I don't remember, as far as this area, that's been, there hadn't been a street there.
But the town never vacated. Is what the county is telling us.
Or if we did, we never filed it with them.
Yeah, if we did, we never filed it. Like,
What's the process to formally vacate it?
I'll have to review it, but I think it's a vote in the publication.
yes,
Public hearing, advertise it.
Yeah, I'll have to go
Yes.
through. It's the same as creating a road, so then you're taking away a road. That's,
So I don't know about the between Pine and Elm, but I think this stuff around here in fast lanes, we should just do it. I mean, legally, but we should,
well, of course, yes.
we should. It's fast lane. I remember doing.
We did it. I just didn't file it with them. I didn't know I had to, so that's how
But if
we
it's easier to redo it, we'll do it.
do it all in one.
Well, file at the same time, if we got a copy of the minutes or something. we
Yeah, I'll
did,
see if
yeah.
if it's.
We can
hopefully
do
it's-
that. Also, we have, the 20th, we're gonna have the races again. Be fifth year for that. Went to brackets instead of, or so there's less division, it'd be a 70, less than 70, less than 85, less than 100, less than 110. And above 110. And open for, so pickups and cars can all run the same 4 cylinders, 8 cylinders, all, they're all gonna be speed bracketed. There, we may get some fast cars putting on some some show for us. We got some interest on doing that. So we'll just see how that's all gonna develop. Hope we're gonna have a good turnout there. Got a lot of, and we've got a lot of interest. We're gonna allow motorcycles this year. We haven't done that in the past. So we got some people interested in doing that, just sort of open it up and there's always no charge for the spectators.
Superman
Sure,
comes
like,
into
we have a
it.
moped division, so.
I got 6 motorcycles in my garage.
I got
It's I'm gonna be going to Casper tomorrow morning on some personal business. But while I'm down there, I have a talk with Lisa and she wants to meet around noon. Each, so I'm gonna be meeting her also. We're gonna discuss some of these things and discuss where we're at, if we're where she wants to get interested. We're gonna come up here, what our participation is gonna be. I got a question for the council. The council buy me lunch since I'm down there. Like
Where?
I'm gonna be in Casper. I'm gonna be go down on my own nickels. I got some personal stuff to do.
It's over
But-
50 miles.
Huh?
It's over 50 miles.
Well, I'm going on my own nickel. I'm going down there for my personal business, but while I'm down there, I'm trying to go do some other stuff, which is gonna keep me there for where I'll be eating lunch down there. If you think that's fair, it's like I said, so
Can
I'll drive
you
down
keep it
back.
under $5 on the 4 for $4 at Wendy's?
Yeah.
I'll get in.
Dollar menu.
I'll-
Dollar menu.
I would never expect you to eat McNasty or McDonald's. I wouldn't feed that to my worst.
Well, if
enemy.
I'm in a hurry, sometimes I do. That's not my preference.
There's
but-
one place I'll never eat.
But anyway,
It's
and
that
I'll,
place.
and when I get back, I'll let you guys know what's going on with, I've talked with her and she has sort of a partner or daughter.
But she's done a bunch of selling for the state and all
Yeah.
that. She knows a lot of the,
And
Hoops
she-
that's
and
got-
she's done quite a bit of work, I guess, in Cheyenne down there too and all over. But I know when I first heard about her from rural development, I told Dave about her and he said, I said, I'm gonna have a meeting with her. He said, I wanna go. Cause he wanted to meet her. He said, I'd never met her, but I know her by reputation. He said she's the best. So anyway, rural development pointed me towards her because of the knowledge. So, but anyway, well, I'm gonna,
Last thing I got, does she have any connects with developers?
well, she helped develop Mills. She actually put in money on the development. She actually had some skin in the game, so I don't know if we can get there with that, or, I don't know where we're at. If we see where we're at, we'd have Marshall look at everything before we get a course. And of course, the council, I can't make, I'm just trying to drum something up, see what develops. If that's,
Good realtor.
so that's why I went through it. Hopefully we can. Oh, there's probably a lot of things I can keep us talking about till 10, but I'd like
I'll
to
make
get
a
out of here.
motion that we adjourn this.
I get a motion from Councilman Hardkey.
Second.
No second. Oh, we have a second. Councilman Whitener. Any further discussion? I don't see no discussion. Anything from the audience? Nothing from the audience? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Both same motion passed all. And the time is what, near
8:56.
8:50?